Today's video is a little bit of like the student becomes the teacher. There's this copywriter named Chris Wright, and he's actually followed me for a long time. He was one of my very first like copywriting coaching clients back in 2014. And then we worked together on a few different client projects. And then he actually got recruited by a really high level financial publisher. And then he has gone off and he's just continuing to create success after success. And he's absolutely like a star. And I am actually honored by the fact that I had the opportunity to play a small part in his success and to see him go on and be such a success. And I saw Chris the other day. He posted on Facebook a little bit ago, and what he said, he was talking about using stories in copy, and Chris can write some really good story-driven copy. So he's talking about using stories in copy, and he says that the biggest like element that makes a compelling story is the protagonist, the main person in that story, overcoming some level of difficulty, some challenge. Like we face a challenge, and the story remains interesting for as long as we don't know if the protagonist is going to overcome this challenge. And like so much of great Hollywood storytelling is about that. There's an introduction, and there's immediately, like within the first 10% of the movie, there's some conflict that arises, some challenge, some obstacle that's thrown in front of the protagonist to them getting what they want. And so we see what they want. We see what they want. Like we see the outcome that they desire. And we also see that they're not getting it, and something stands in the way. And oftentimes throughout the story, there's going to be this thing that stands in the way, and then this thing that stands in the way, and then like this biggest thing that stands in the way that they have to overcome in order to succeed. And then we know the movie is done when they actually get what they wanted, when they overcome that difficulty, when they overcome that challenge. And when that happens, we feel for them, we feel the joy because we felt the agony and the struggle of that difficulty that was standing in their way. And throughout the journey, we resonate with them because we have our own difficulties, we have our own challenges, we have our own problems, we have our own obstacles, and we know that they stand in our way, and we want to overcome them. And so a great story is going to present this. It's going to have the protagonist be shocked by some obstacle, by some difficulty, by some problem that arises. And it's going to go through the agitation, the experience of like the difficulty being insurmountable, or at least feeling insurmountable for a while. And you know, the protagonist is going to have these challenges, these problems, these reasons why the things that they try don't work, or these different obstacles that are standing in the way of their success. And it's only when that protagonist gets through all the obstacles that that the story is able to reach a conclusion. And this is absolutely this is huge if you are in copywriting and marketing and selling, and your ability to tell a story that captures the attention and keeps the person interested. Well, of course, that's going to make you a better salesperson, because one of the primary challenges that we have, one of the initial challenges that we have in starting any kind of customer relationship and in having any kind of sales conversation, is to get the attention of our target audience. And so if you have a compelling story, whether that's your story of dealing with a problem or challenge, or a customer, a client story of them dealing with the problem or the challenge, and you're able to tell that, and you're able to walk through that process using, for example, my ultimate selling story formula, which is problem, agitate, invalidate, solve, ask. You know, this person had this problem, and here's why it was so difficult. Here's the agitation, and here's what they tried and why those different attempts to solve it were invalid. And then here's what they realized a solution had to contain. And here's the action that they took. Here's the ask, the offer, right? So you go through that PISA formula, and that's what that does. It captures this essence of great storytelling, that we need to overcome difficulty. We need the protagonist to overcome difficulty in order for it to be a compelling story. And if you can do that, and you can tie it to your sales message, well, then you've gone a very long way towards whatever you need to do to close the sale. And in fact, I actually teach, one of the very first trainings that I created for copywriters and marketers was the Story Selling Masterclass. And it actually, it talks about how story selling is absolutely critical, and how there are actually 3 parts to effective story selling. And one of those is the story, where you're going to have this narrative arc. One of those is the character. Like, what are you saying about yourself, about your product, about your whatever? Like, what character are you creating through the stories that you tell in the mind of your prospect? And then finally, selling. The difference between storytelling and story selling is that story selling actually has an intention, a direction, an outcome, a call to action. And if you don't get that right, you may be a great writer and a great storyteller, but you're not going to be nearly as effective in using stories to sell. And so I'll include a link to a link in the description to the Story Selling Masterclass, also to my book, The Ultimate Selling Story, which you can get on Amazon super cheap. And my name is Roy Furr. This has been a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I hope you've gotten a lot of value out of this. I'd love it if you'd leave a comment below. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how valuable you found it and why. Also, click that like button before you go so you get more content like this delivered to you, and so the magical algorithms of the internet know to share it with more people like you who will find it valuable. You can certainly share it with folks directly, and subscribe before you go. Subscribe here. Also go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com. Links in the description. Get my daily emails Monday through Friday, including these videos and exclusive content for email subscribers. My name is Roy Furr, again, for Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I always aim for that 10 out of 10 value. I hope that I've delivered it here, and I look forward to seeing you again in your next video. I'll see you soon. Bye.